In 2022, currencies around the world had plummeted to record low. Just as the COVID-19 disruption was not enough, the Russia-Ukraine war worsened the global prospects. Inflation was at an all-time high. The US Federal Reserve, which regulates the printing of US dollar, hiked the interest rates to arrest the inflation. As a result, investors around the world bought the US bonds, which yielded better returns. This move pushed the dollar to a record 20-year high. But other currencies were affected severely, and countries scrambled to raise interest rates domestically to contain the inflation. Emerging economies were hit hard and their currencies had devalued. But why did this happen? Because dollar is the world's powerful currency, as it is a reserve currency. It means countries hold their foreign currency in form of dollars. The international trade and settlements largely happen using this currency. Countries will have to convert their currencies to dollars, which incurs conversion charges. With rising dollar rates, countries will have to shell out more to import commodities. Emerging economies do not borrow in their own currencies, as they are more volatile. They do it in dollars. Their debt is also denominated in dollar. What does this mean? It means these countries' interest payments goes higher because of the demand of dollar. Argentina was one such country whose interest rates soared as high as 70%. Sri Lanka and Ghana had defaulted on their debt and ultimately went bankrupt. Now countries want to reduce their reliance on US dollar. So, are we saying countries want to trade in their own currencies now to save the conversion charges? Not exactly, but America's dominance in international trade system had given it the ability to weaponize its currency. The sanctions on Russia are a testament to that. US and its allies froze $300 billion of Russia's foreign currency reserves and removed its institutions from SWIFT, which is a payment facilitation service. This squeezed the Russian economy and cut it off from the global financial system. US move eventually raised an alarm. Several countries are wary of the dependence on one currency and financial system for international trade. Despite the US sanctions on Russia, the IMF forecasts that the country's economy will expand by 0.3%. Does this mean sanctions on Russia have failed? Not entirely. Russia, as a big commodity exporter, has leverage over other countries. It has found back channels for its trade. Russia and Iran have inked an agreement to interconnect their banking systems. 52 Iranian banks are using Iran's interbank telecom system, SEPAM, to connect with 106 Russian banks using SPFS, Russia's equivalent to SWIFT. Central banks of Iran and Russia are also working to establish a stable coin for foreign trade. This would be a digital currency backed by gold. It will be used mostly in Special Economic Zone of Astrakhan, which is the hub of International North-South Transportation Corridor. The success of gold-backed CBDC will largely hinge on whether the scores of Asian, West Asian and African nations refuse to apply US dictated sanctions on both Russia and Iran. Apart from this, Russia also began to trade settlements in Indian rupees with India. Sri Lanka, which is running on low forex reserves, is also allowed to use international rupee for trade. This move increases the demand for Indian rupee and brings in savings from conversion charges to Indian banks. The Indian government, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is also exploring doing this with other nations. Apart from Bangladesh, Nepal and Myanmar, over 35 countries are showing interest in doing trade with Indian rupee. Brazil and Argentina are also planning to introduce international currency of their own. However, it is a bit different from India, as these two countries are planning to create a common currency. The two largest economies of South America are also discussing to invite other Latin American nations in developing own currency. The initial focus will be how a new currency, which Brazil suggests calling SUR, could boost regional trade and reduce reliance on the dollar. Brazil's President Lula da Silva is a long-time advocate of strengthening the global South. He played a pivotal role in the formation of BRICS. The grouping is planning to bring their own currency to end the dollar's supremacy in international market. Russia and China have also been trying to interface their banking messaging systems for years. But Washington has been threatening Chinese banks to expel them from SWIFT if they interconnect with Russian banks. With the success of the Russia-Iran connection, China may now focus on bringing its own messaging system with Russia. Iran, on the other hand, has become permanent member of SCO and is now a leading candidate to join the BRICS+. In parallel, BRICS in 2023 will delve deeper into developing their mutual financial payment system and their own reserve currency. South African Foreign Minister Naledi Pandor, whose country holds the grouping's presidency this year, confirmed that the BRICS want to find a way to bypass US dollar and thus create a fairer payment system not skewed towards wealthier countries. There are at least 13 confirmed countries eager to join the BRICS Plus, including Saudi Arabia and Indonesia. One of the most important statements from the World Economic Forum's annual meeting was that Saudi Arabia will consider trading in different currencies other than the dollar. Saudi is China's largest oil supplier and important trade partners. A petro-yuan could be a reality. If we were to seek expert advice or a premonition, the AI ChatGPT was asked to predict the dollar's future. It predicted dollar's dominance will give way to multipolar currency system as China's yuan gains influence. But analysts are skeptical about the internationalization of yuan as the reserve currency. Overall, it seems the green paper hegemony isn't going to subside anytime soon. Going by the initiatives taken by these countries, we can say the tectonic movement in global banking and payment systems has just begun.
Please subscribe to Nationalist Hub English channel for more interesting videos, and don't forget to like and share this video. Nationalist Hub, it's a news revolution.